Joining us live from Damascus is Obayda Ghadban. He is a researcher at the Syrian Foreign Ministry. Obayda, it's great to have you back on the program. You and I have spoken before. The government is going to enter Kurdish-majority areas in Hasakah, in Qamishli, and that is going to be an early test of this agreement. Have government troops, in your knowledge, begun to enter those areas?
Hello, Cyril, and I'm glad to be with you again. As for now, no, the troops haven't come in. In fact, the very first phase of the agreement is to retreat military troops from both sides to the environs of urban centers like Hasakah and facilitate the way to security troops who should be entering very soon, as once the arrangements are ready. This hasn't happened until now, but hopefully by 3 days at max.
Okay, how is that supposed to happen? I want to stress to our viewers how important this is. We are talking about Syrian armed soldiers, military personnel entering into urban centers that are populated by Kurds that have had almost total autonomy for more than 10 years. And we know that there is fear in those areas. There is fear of seeing government soldiers enter their cities. So how can you make sure that happens peacefully?
The main word is gradually. While the trust-building procedure, as the report has just mentioned, is going on, not only on the highest levels of leaderships, whether from the Syrian government or from the SDF leadership, but also on the mid-levels of commanders and field commanders who should be coordinating with each other to facilitate and consolidate this process peacefully and gradually. However, that said, there might be violations, maybe from parties who are still opposing the extreme parties, who are still opposing the implementation of the agreement. Hopefully that will be to the minimal and we don't see such practices, but of course this is put on the table of or maybe expected, because as you have just said, this is a new process. This is a new phase in the history of Syria, not only of Al-Hasakah, and this might make some sides dissatisfied with this. And I'm talking here, of course, to be explicit on the PKK, maybe some hardliners, PKK-affiliated elements inside the ranks or in the leadership of SDF.
So, yes, so under the wide Kurdish umbrella, there are different currents, and there is believed to be still a contingent of PKK fighters. Now, they are an armed group that is labeled and designated as terrorist by Turkey, by the US, by the European Union. Do you have any contact with them? They are considered to be the hardliners within the Kurdish movement. Are there negotiations going on between the government or any government representatives and PKK fighters?
Actually, this is the responsibility of the SDF itself, not the Syrian government. The Syrian government is uptaking the negotiations with Muslim Abdi, besides some civilian leading figures like Ilham Ahmad or Fawzi Youssef in Damascus mainly. So it's the responsibility, and hopefully they will be managing to isolate these elements, because isolating them and forcing them out of Syria is one of the very principal terms of the agreement. To answer the question clearly, no, there hasn't been contacts with, as you have just said, PKK, clear or explicit PKK elements, but there has been via the SDF, which is their responsibility to do so and to find a way out for them.
Obayda, this administration, the administration that you're a part of, has spoken the language of inclusion and unity. And you and I spoke last when President Sharaa signed a presidential decree protecting Kurdish rights. But we have seen in the past year flare-ups of violence against Syrian minorities, the Druze, the Alawites. So how can the Kurds trust that they will be safe and protected in the new Syria?
There are two sides for this, Mr. Sral. I'm glad you brought this up. The first one is those incidents, those grave incidents that has taken place in Khost or Sreda, have their kind of objective circumstances. We're talking about decades of weaponization of sectarianism and putting hostilities between the Syrian communities themselves. So when the Syrian state, when the new Syrian state has taken place, these structural issues hasn't been solved then, and we have seen that taking place. That said, the Syrian state has taken up its responsibility. It has escalated the commitment procedures inside its ranks on all aspects, military, security, and even civilian. While at the same time kind of easing the grievances that has led to these incidents in the first place. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is that the commitment of the Syrian personnel, of the Syrian state's personnel, was manifested in the most recent incident, which was Ashrafi and Sheikh Maqsood, which you have been reporting very minutes ago. There we have seen a very surgical, specific security operation that where the let's say the violations were to the most minimal amount, and also we have seen another aspect of it, which is connecting and contacting the people themselves. It's not only a security operation, but it's also a socio-political process that has taken place. And all of this was consolidated by the decree, which you have, which thank you for mentioning it and bringing it up, Decree 13. So we're talking about shortly, we're about raising the commitment, raising the procedures, and learning from previous mistakes that has taken place, and as well as fixing the issues that has led to those incidents in the first place.
Obayda Ghadban of Syria's Foreign Ministry. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.